Welcome to my YouTube channel guys. In this video, we will learn how we could access our Linux machine through the Putty client or through the SSH command line. Alright, the first way of doing it, if you have downloaded and installed Putty client, then if you want to connect to a Linux machine, all you need is an IP address of your Linux machine and you will be able to connect. Now remember guys, if you are using a newer version of Windows 10, then you don't need Putty client. All you need to open up your command prompt and then simply type SSH space the IP address of your Linux machine. Or you could also do SSH space -L. L is the option to use to specify the username and then followed by the IP address. Alright, the first method we will use is to connect to a Linux machine using the Putty. So what we are exactly doing, we are going to open up our Putty software on our Windows machine and we are going to connect it to our Linux machine. Now of course, in order to connect, what do I need? I need the IP address of this Linux machine, so I could plug it in here. Now how do I get the IP address? A very good question. In order to get an IP address, you have to run a command on the command line and the command is ifconfig. Now before we go any further, an important message, the newer version of CentOS might not have the command ifconfig or ifconfig. Therefore we will use IP address command. If you wanted to use ifconfig in 7.5 or later version of CentOS or Red Hat, then you could install the tools where running the install nettools, this command as a root. So in order to get to the console, we will go first to our UTM manager right here and look for the machine that we have created, CentOS right here. I have already started it up here. Okay, so it's up and running. Now open your terminal, click on activity, then terminal. Alright, so right here you have a terminal and in order to get the IP address of Linux machine, you run the command ifconfig and hit enter. So in my case the config command work, so I don't have to run the IP address command. You could run that command again if you as well, right? IP addr. Okay, so it will display all the information about your adapters and IP address. Okay, so let's clear the screen. Let's not get ahead of ourselves again. Let's try ifconfig. On the screen right here, when you run it, here is your first interface is enp0s1 and here is your local interface. You can ignore this local interface. Our focus is in this interface enp0s1. okay, and the IP address of this is 192.168.64.8. so guys, your IP address might be different. My IP address is start with 192, your maybe start with 100. It depends on your network connection. Okay, now we have IP address. Now go to your Windows machine. Right here we have already opened the Windows machine here and just type here Putty. You can also open from here, just type Putty and this will open up your Putty. And right here in the Putty, I want you to type it the IP address of the machine of your Linux machine that we just pick up here. Okay, so my IP address is 192.168.64.8 and just click on open. So at first you may got a message here, just accept that message and you will ask for the user ID and the password. Just put the user ID of your CentOS. Here my is nkvale and password is same of your CentOS login. So I log in successfully through the Putty client. We can use ls command here. Okay, so verify we are connected to the right machine. This Linux machine is the command line access. Okay, so now we will access our Linux machine over SSH command that is available to us on Windows command. So just close this now, click OK. Now open up your CMD command prompt and right here just type SSH and hit enter and make sure you get this message right here with all the options which shows that SSH is installed and here are the different options to use. Alright, so if you do get that all that message, then all you have to do is type SSH-L, then the username, which is nkvale, followed by the IP address, okay, 192.168.64.8, and hit enter. It will ask the password for the same machine, which is CentOS. Hit enter. Bingo, we are login. So if you are using Windows 10 or later version, you don't need Putty client. You can also use your command line to connect to the remote server or your remote machine. Thank you guys for watching this video. So guys, if you have encountered any issue while connecting using SSH client or by using Putty client, just let me know in comment section. I will definitely help you to resolve that issue.